my format for my own podcast is I will get 10 questions that I think are going to be like frequently asked questions. That's what this is today. So we had 10 frequently asked questions that we can answer, and it gives you 10 different clips that you can post throughout the month. Hello and welcome back to the Lakeshore Video Podcast. My name is George Nix, and this is a really special episode today. I am here at Spare Room Studios, and we have Cheryl, Steph, and Tiff. And this is a brand new premier podcast studio in Northwest Indiana. So basically, I'll be working here, kind of running the cameras and stuff, and you guys can film your podcasts right here where we're at right now. And we're going to have 3 different areas for you to film in. This is just the first one that we wanted to introduce to you guys today. And we're going to kind of go over all of the kind of FAQs that you guys might have about this new podcast studio and about the rest of Spare Room Studios, just kind of in general, because now there's, how many rooms do we have?
Technically 6.
6. So 6 different rooms for rental for you guys.
Some don't function independently from others, but yeah, there's 6 different spaces.
Okay, cool. We'll get into all that in just a minute, but I just wanted to tell you guys like how excited I am for this space because there's really not a lot like this in Northwest Indiana where you can just come rent it, and you can come rent this and just film with your phone if you like, or you can rent it with me as your videographer, kind of facilitating everything and making sure it looks really good. So we're going to kind of go rapid fire with all these questions here.
Okay.
I have 10 questions for everyone at home to kind of get a better idea of what this space is all about. So our very first question is, can you tell us the story behind Spare Room Studios and how it's grown from a rental and decor business into a full creative space for content creators?
I guess that would be me. So Spare Room Studios started in 2018 officially. I was making faux flowers back in 2018. Faux flowers weren't a thing. Nobody really wanted that or liked that. Now they're kind of popping up and taking over a little bit. But my little sister got married, and we decorated for her wedding, and I made her flowers, and then I made my daughter's dance flowers. And it was while we were doing those events that we bought a bunch of stuff and we didn't know what to do with it after the events were over. And so we set up some shelves in my basement and started storing them. And then a lot of her friends asked us to decorate for her wedding after that. And it just sort of snowballed and became this business, not really a business. It was kind of just a hobby. And in 2020, COVID came, and I really had no idea how that was going to affect what I was doing, even though I really didn't know what I was doing at the time. But an old friend of mine, Jenny Bashinsky, she was a planner at the Allure in LaPorte for many years. And we went back 20 years or so. We sold candles together in ancient history. But we met up one day for coffee, and she was telling me about what she was doing, and I was telling her about what I was doing. And it just sort of was this epiphany moment where we were like, oh, we should maybe be doing this together. So Orchestrated Events was born then, and I was like the charter member. And then a couple of months later, maybe not even, a couple of weeks, I think, Cheryl's husband had a chiropractic business in the same building. And he wandered in asking, what do we do? What's this all about? And my wife makes some stuff, and she's kind of cool. I think you might like her. You should get together. And so she came in, and she's kind of cool.
I hate my husband now.
We love her. And we kind of love her. Yeah. So Spare Room Studios and Painted Willow Designs operated independent businesses under the umbrella of Orchestrated Events in Valparaiso, serving all over Northwest Indiana, Southwest Michigan, some Chicago, and recently branched out like, sort of cross country. We've been to Utah and Florida and and beyond. Here we go.
Yeah, wherever it takes us. But
right,
we started working together so much that it was confusing people that like they were always tagging Spare Room and Painted Willow, and people kept saying, what do you guys do? Who's who? What's going on? And so we just decided it was easier.
I would answer to Cheryl.
Merge.
She would answer to Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
So we're like, let's just be Spare Room Studios and like cut the confusion. So
Yeah.
that's where we ended up. And so we make some custom things. We have a giant warehouse full of stuff to
Yeah. I call it
pretty much any kind of event or public community service, like a public event or corporate fundraiser event.
birthday parties, all sorts of the kids, adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call it the warehouse of all things pretty practical and peculiar.
Nice.
Because we have all sorts of things that you wouldn't know what to really do with if you just saw it sitting on a shelf somewhere, but she knows what to do with it.
Right. And one of our catchphrases is, it's not courting, your shit's cool.
Can we say that in our podcast,
Yeah.
George?
I don't mind, honestly. I keep my podcast somewhat PG-13, but
PG-13, okay. It's not hoarding if your stuff's cool there at that end. Yeah, so we were in a basement housing all these things. I had rented this space first, and then I asked Cheryl, you want to be my roommate? My warehouse has 16 stairs. Come and join me. So we joke. We call ourselves the Two Chubby Chicks Moving Company because for years, all we did was move those things up and down the stairs to go out to events. And we have a lot of things, furniture and drapery and all sorts of stuff. And I landed a pretty big gig, the biggest I had had to date. And that morning I tore my meniscus while loading the moving truck.
Oh.
It was a nightmare. And all of the cavalry showed up to help because I could barely walk. Cheryl was one of them. And we weren't officially merged yet. And then so if that would have been in September of the following summer, she tore her meniscus.
oh, wow.
Yep.
On my way to decorate for a 4th of July parade float and made it there like 10 minutes before the parade started. Yeah. Again, the cavalry, like people just show up. That mean, like one of the things we've discovered in this industry is that, you need people and people always come through for you. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. We couldn't do what we do if we didn't have our team. So, so after both meniscuses were torn, you tie our legs together and we might make one good human. We decided no more of these stairs. We started searching, never really found anything. And then just so happened to stumble across this space here in Chesterton, which is where I live. Cheryl lives in Valpo. And I had been, driving back and forth 15, 20 minutes each way, several times a day sometimes. And so we decided to move in here. And when we moved in, it was just the warehouse. They actually had to put up a wall to separate our space from the rest of the tenants. But what they didn't realize when they did that was that they were cutting the tenants off from access to the bathroom.
Oh,
So the tenants started moving out one at a time.
I see.
They could access the bathroom from the back of the building, but who wants to walk outside? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't blame them, but we also knew it wasn't going to work for us either to have them be accessing our space to use the bathroom. So as each suite emptied, we started renting that,
Gathering up the spare rooms.
gathering up the spare rooms. Yes. And also all the spare rooms. Right. So
Nice.
content creation, photography, now podcasting. We also kind of pivot and flex the muscle of our space to host events, workshops of small things, usually 20, 25 people or less use our space. So that's the history of how we got here.
Nice. Very, very cool. Well, you answered my second question, which was what inspired the move to your new Chesterton location?
Yeah. Torn meniscus knees.
You're right.
Was definitely an inspiration if that's what you're
Okay, so you have several different rooms like the white room, the lounge, and the boardroom. Can you walk us through what makes each one unique and who they're best suited for?
Sure. I think I'm going to let Cheryl take that one.
When we first moved into the space, the white room became available. It was just a nasty room. We had cement floors and gross walls and all the things. And we had the epiphany that maybe painting everything white floor, white walls, white everything would be great for photographers. One of Tiffany's besties is a photographer. And so it made sense. They came to us to rent furniture sometimes. And so we thought, what if we didn't have to haul the furniture out and we could just set cool scenes up in the space. We wanted to do it so that it's very individualized. We don't like the idea of setting a scene and leaving it. We want the photographers to have their own style for everything. So the rooms come with one piece of furniture and a couple of accessories. And if they want more, then they can rent more from us, or we can style it for them or what have you. But basically, the white room is white walls, white floors, white ceiling. It has a couple of windows. The light's amazing. The lounge and Studio B are set up like a bedroom and a living room. And so it's great for boudoir photos, Christmas minis with your jammies, or we had a group of teenagers come in and do a little birthday party, and they had pizza in the lounge area, and then they got hair and makeup done, and then they went in studio in the white room and had their photos done.
It was sort of a
Super fun.
Taylor Swift style inspired. They're in their tween era, so they weren't quite teenagers. Yeah, not little girls. So we invited some other vendors, hair and makeup, to come in and give them just a little touch of glamour. And then the Joyful booth joined us with her photo booth and took pictures. And it was a really fun experience for those kids. And it kind of introduced us to the idea of, hey, maybe we can do something if any of these other spaces open up. So
Yeah.
And at the time, all of our floors were that gross concrete stuff.
Correct.
So the moms were kind of like, oh, it's a little sketchy in here.
it wasn't very polished.
Yeah,
We were trying to embrace this, like,
to figure it out if it was going to work or not.
Right.
And so since then, like, we have all new flooring in the building, and all the walls are painted, and everything looks really cool. And
we got a nice new bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have that when we first started, and people didn't love going to the bathroom
In the warehouse.
in the warehouse. Yeah,
Right.
So it's a great place now. We
Yeah.
at least spruced it up a bit.
yeah.
Very cool. And then the boardroom, did you talk about that one?
I did not talk about the boardroom. So the boardroom is actually another room in another space that vacated. Like, we just slowly moved across the front of the building, and that has a separate entrance. And so people can rent that room to hold private meetings if they want to. It's big enough. It's got a table for 10 in it. So you can have a little conference. You could actually hold a small luncheon, or bring your own food in and things. You could have a gay night. There's all kinds of fun uses for that space. And then we kind of flip it, and it can be co-working also in the main space behind the boardroom. And then we also are utilizing those spaces as bride and groom getting ready spots. So
Cool.
if you want to expound on that.
Yeah. So the lounge and Studio B sort of function, and the white room function as the bridal suite. And then the other side, the office and the boardroom and the kitchenette is accessible to both sides, function as the groom space. What we envision is the groom space. Certainly you can use it for either one. They're both fairly gender neutral. Some of the furnishings we intentionally style more feminine on one side, a little bit more masculine on the other, just to offer options for sets. Because I think flex is probably a really good adjective to use to describe all of our spaces. We have all this furniture, we have all of this inventory, different rugs, accessory pieces, sheets for the bed, pillows, different things that you can create just about any look that you want. And I think that's one of the benefits of coming here is you can book a styling session with us to shop from the warehouse, and then we'll set it up and take it down for you. One of my favorite things about the boardroom, though, is that it's really good. The co-working aspect of us sharing our spaces, because it has its own entrance, it's really good for a small business person that doesn't want to bring business to their home and doesn't necessarily want to meet them out at a coffee house either. So provides you a little bit of privacy and some credibility because it has its own entrance. You don't need to participate in anything that's going on at Spare Room Studios. You could just use the boardroom. There's a little thing on the door that you can put your own sign in. And as far as your clients know, that's just the space that you rent. So
Yeah.
I think it's a nice little perk. So, you're conducting business here, maybe you're filming or photographing, and then you need to meet a prospective client that hasn't yet booked. It helps to bring them into the space. You can show them, give them a tour of the spaces that you use, but have your meeting in that space so it feels like it's your own.
Yeah. I like that. And then let's talk about the podcast room.
Talk about it.
So what's the podcast room all about? What do people utilize this for? Or what do you call it? A Studio C, right?
We're going to call it Studio C.
The content.
Yeah, content creation.
Yeah.
Because it can be originally thought podcast, but then that kind of pigeonholed us in a little bit to just one thing. So we decided this room was big enough that there are some walls behind us that are on wheels that can move. And on the other sides of the room are little vignettes of styled places. So we're not going to show those today, but those are coming soon. We're going to tease it out a little bit. There's some accent walls done in board and batten. So we just thought, we wanted to just get advice from the professionals. So
Yeah.
George.
So that's why I came in. Yeah.
And we also talked to someone else who does marketing, and he gave us some great suggestions for one wall white, one wall black, board and batten, some architectural interest. They have times when they bring a client and shoot for several hours, and it's maybe not a podcast, but it is video, it is photography. And so this allows clothing changes and set changes, and just you can have that media to put out over time. But you got it all done in one day.
Yeah.
So that is this room when it's rented. It is only rented one person at a time, but you have access to all the spaces. The basic lighting is here. You don't have to bring lighting. So if you're a person who has a podcast already and you want to just have a more aesthetically pleasing place to do it, you can just come. The lights are here. Or if you don't know what you're doing, like I didn't know what I was doing, you get the professionals.
Yeah.
And we all say the same, right? Aces in their places.
Yeah.
Aces in their places. So
I love
stay in our
that.
lanes.
Yeah. And what I love about this room is that it's like modular, so like these walls, they're on wheels, they move. You have multiple backdrops to choose from. You got the black wall, the white wall, you got 3 different sets here, everything like any creative could ever ask for. And like you were saying, I think it's cool that like you don't even have to have you don't have to hire a videographer. If you do a lot of content just on your phone, just come here. Your lighting's already set. You hit one button, good to go. You can just start talking. So that's really cool. And then like we said before, if you want it to look like this, super polished, multicam, all that stuff, that's where I come in. So
Yeah.
And it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about it.
Well, I think everybody starts somewhere, right? We all have to start somewhere. I can remember back when I was first doing this, you don't know what you don't know. I think that's the truest sentence that I've ever heard, is almost in any area, but especially in our industry, is you just don't know till you're doing it. And so you can have these great ideas, but if you don't have a vehicle to take your ideas to the next place. And so that's kind of what we're trying to help provide for an affordable price, but still with great amenities. So having the option to start out on a DIY level, doing your own thing with your phone or your different set of mics or whatever. Maybe it's a camera, but it's not like a super great camera. You're just starting out. You're getting your feet wet. It doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to try something new and see if you like it. And if you love it, if you're successful at it, if you gain some interest or some followers and you want to upgrade your look, then you have access to George. If you have your own photographer, your own videographer that you already have a relationship with and you want to bring them in here, we're sort of
open to everybody.
Open to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You can book it, sight unseen, or you can come and schedule a tour, learn more about us, and then make a decision. There's no long-term contracts with anything we do, because we like to meet new people and we like flexibility. So that's kind of like that's our wheelhouse for sure, I think.
And coming up on Christmas season, like giving podcast opportunity as a gift to somebody who wants to try something.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Or, dabbling in photography, it's a great.
We always say,
kind of.
if you're not learning, you might as well be dead. So we love the idea of that, learning and expanding different things. And so We've had a couple of photographers ask about teaching workshops, and that's another use of the boardroom or the office space, is that it's certainly big enough that you can bring in, not a large group, but a manageable group to sort of conduct a class and help people learn how to do new things. So we think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. And what I like about this room in particular, as a videographer, I love how it's modular and how we have multiple sets to choose from. So like, you're not going to have the exact same look as the person who just filmed right before you. You can change it up, do whatever you want. And we could rent it out for the full day, and you could record a bunch of different content all in one day, keep it nice and concise. You don't have to you don't have to keep coming out to the studio day after day. You just record it all in one day, do your different outfit changes, all that.
Right.
Set changes, outfit changes. So
Yeah.
like we can film you an entire month's worth of content for your business in one session here, one day.
Yeah, that's the nice part about the space too, is that it is fairly large, and we have a kitchenette where, you can even pack a lunch that day, like order pizzas or food if you want to, but there's a refrigerator and a coffee pot, a microwave, an air fryer. All of these things are accessible to make a day of it. So if you are, maybe it's a half day, maybe you're shooting with clients if you're a videographer or a podcaster or a photographer, and then the other half of the day you need to like have focused work on contracts or whatever. Like there's co-working space that's available to do that. And the bathroom is a nice size, so you can change clothes, certainly do wardrobe changes without issue. We're also pet friendly,
Nice.
which so George's little dog Chewy's over in the corner.
Yeah, he's sleeping right now.
He's sleeping. Yeah. But I think that's an asset because we love our pets. We know others love their pets too. There's some parameters and some rules about it, but definitely for as a professional working in the environment and for your clients bringing them here. We have lots of photographers that are looking for pet friendly spaces to do Christmas minis with, people's pets. And there's a dog groomer place next door. We've been dying to invite them over and have all the puppies come over and get their pictures taken. So we'll see if that's coming up in the future.
Yeah, definitely. We kind of answered these questions a little bit, but I just want to kind of hit on them one more time just so that I can get a clip for later.
Yeah,
But for photographers and videographers, what kind of lighting and equipment setups are available, or do people usually just bring their own gear?
Yeah. So it's a little bit of both, right? You have set up these 3 lights that are stationary and will always be here, and they're preset.
And then we also are going to have 3 lights for each side of the room, and
They'll be on
backlights,
wheels.
and they will be able to be moved around. Because maybe you just want to shoot your Instagram content, and then you can move that around. You can go to the different spaces and walls, and
Get the different looks. It's all metal. We've got brick, we've got white, we've got black. Now that the lighting is just for this room, we should probably clarify that the white room really leans into the natural light. It's got south-facing windows. The boardroom is the same way. It gets better light a little bit earlier in the morning than the white room does. That gets the full afternoon as the sun is going down. You can bring your own lights. That's not a problem. There's plenty of electric to plug into, or if you do battery operated and you need to charge batteries, have one's on, charge the other. That's all fine. But if you are looking to have lighting, you have to be in this room, unless you're bringing in, a professional to do it for you.
And the thing about this room too, though, is that you don't have to turn these lights on. There's no windows in here. And so if you want those dark photos, like a spotlight kind of picture or something like that.
We're not photographers. We do not, we don't meddle in places where we don't belong. We want to provide the space.
Spare rooms.
Yeah, all the rooms for you to use. But for people who have the equipment or want to bring in someone that has the equipment, we have lots of options. Because the antithesis to the white room is this room with no windows, and then also that cool dark hallway, which we'll sneak peek that later, which is kind of just, we call it the hall pass. You can't book the hallway. It's just if you happen to be here, You can get snag a couple shots in the dark hallway if you want to go for a moodier look. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Very cool. So again, we kind of answered this a little bit already, but just for easy clipping on my end, can you talk about the amenities that come with booking, like the kitchenette, powder room, furniture options, and how they make shoots or events easier?
So I would say that the dressing room, the restroom, there are multiple bathrooms here, but certainly the restroom in our space is nicer. This isn't a warehouse. I think when people pull up, they don't always know what to expect. You get in these stores and all of a sudden you're like, what's really going on here? But so we have a nice restroom that is plenty large, has a hanging rack in there for wardrobe changes. The kitchenette, it's really, it's a small space, but it's a pleasant space and it's an efficient space. So we love our coffee around here and we share it. So there's 3 coffee pots. There's one on each side of the building. You can always grab yourself a cup of coffee and get in the fridge for cream, sugar in the cabinet. It's kind of makes what could otherwise be a stressful experience to go someplace and park your car. Thinking of this city, for example, right? You have to find parking first, right? Then you get settled and you're shooting and then you've got a break in between. And now you need to go run and find something to eat and feed your meter, run back outside. We have parking here that's dedicated to our space. Street parking, first come, first serve, and then parking in the back. And then, like we said, with the kitchenette, you can bring a lunch. You can pick up a Subway on your way in, order out. It's close to DoorDash. There's lots of,
We're right off the Highway 49, so super.
very close to Boundary Road. So there's lots of things to choose from. We do have a couple of relationships in the works for catering too. So if you're wanting to have a group of people in and you need to just provide lunch, Cherries and Berries, the new pancake house over there. Is someone we're working with to develop some packages.
Even the hotel, the Hilton.
Yeah, the Hilton. There's a small restaurant there that we're working with them to develop some catering packages too. So, which is awesome for professionals that are using this space, but also on the flip side of that, for the bride and groom room, when they're bringing a large group of people in, they're able to bring their own food in, but sometimes they don't want to do that. Sometimes they want to have something catered in, and so.
Very cool.
Yeah, super convenient though, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So what's the booking process like? Do people need to schedule a tour first, or can they reserve a space online?
Yeah, they do not need to schedule a tour. You can book. It's a live calendar. We use Acuity. And so there's a booking link. You can find it pinned to the top of our social media pages. Or you can text us. Our number is plastered all over all of our advertising. So we're still learning it, to be honest.
What's your number?
219-331-4437. But we are still learning our system. So forgive us if we're a little pokey about it. It seems fairly user intuitive. It's better from a laptop than it is from a phone, is what we found. But most people use their phone when they book it. And so what it doesn't allow you to do on your phone that it does on a laptop is go forward more than 1 week at a time.
Oh, okay.
So on your phone, it just gives you a couple of days, but on a laptop or a desktop, it shows you the whole calendar. And so you can easily click through dates. We can schedule for you. However, if we do that, it only allows you to pay for 1 hour at a time.
Okay.
So it's much easier if you self-book. You can see what's available because the scheduling is live. And we're going to get you a calendar on there too.
Yeah.
So you can book George for his professional services. We accept major credit cards. We will do cash or check on arrival, but you do have to make a deposit or get in contact with us to hold your dates. And dates are kind of booking up fast as far as the other rooms that are open. This room is just launching and we haven't opened the calendar yet for this. I'm a little excited at what that's going to look like and nervous at the same time. But our photography studios have booked pretty quickly, month of November. There's still a few dates left, but yeah, there's spots left for sure. But the weekends, premium dates.
Cool. So yeah, they can just book right online. I like
Book
that.
right online. If you're kind of a little nervous to book sight unseen, definitely give us a call. Send us an email. We'll schedule a tour. Steph probably be the one to meet you, show you around. let you into all the little spaces behind closed doors so you can see how awesome it is.
I'm usually also
Styling, like we should meet ahead of time. Because
Yeah. If you want something besides what the basic solution,
And
clarify.
let me actually get into that because you mentioned offering decor and styling services. How do those come into play for content creators or people hosting small events here?
Yes. So the way we look at it is if we don't have to take it out of the building, it's much better for us.
Yeah.
So we do about between 80 and 90 events a year. But you can't take everything you have in a 5,000 square foot warehouse to one event. And so there's oftentimes things that are sitting behind the closed door in the warehouse that could be brought out into the other spaces to be used. If you have a particular idea, an aesthetic, Pinterest board or inspo photos that you want to share with us, we can tell you better whether or not we have something that would work for that particular look. As Cheryl had mentioned, rental with the White Room specifically comes with seating and 3 small accessories. The lounge, its seating is the bed. You can rent that space and have the bed taken out if you want to. And sort of the same way with the boardroom, like the table that seats 10 is in that room. It doesn't have to stay in there. Everything it's all flex, right?
we're Two Duppy Chicks Movie Company.
Yeah, right. They just move it out of there. Yeah. And the thing about this room specifically too is so there are 3 sets and this set will always maintain. But we may get funky and decide, we're going to switch out the set on the other side and just freshen it up. Or maybe it's seasonal or you're looking for a particular vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely could be customized with everything from the furniture to the rugs to the lighting to small accessories.
Like I envision somebody coming in to do a cigar podcast. Like Cheryl's brother loves cigars, and there are people that the whole industry is built around that. And we do cigar bars at events. And so we have lots of cool decor for that. Some neat signs that we could hang. And I'm like, come on, do a cigar podcast. Decorate for that. But certainly could be customized in almost any way.
Very cool. I love that. Who are some of the different kinds of people or businesses that use your spaces? Photographers, podcasters, event planners, small business owners? All that, all the above?
All the above.
We've had people come in. We had a lot of branding sessions lately. So we have people come in to take pictures to put on Amazon to sell their product. We've had people just come in to take pictures of so we have
Their team.
Their team. We have a company that sells kids' clothing line, and they come in and take pictures regularly. And so we love
Most of the time they're working with models.
Right.
Sometimes though, it's just product. We have absolutely had just product come in, and the White Room is good for that. And I imagine this space would also offer a really cool and different, good lighting and a different, not just your plain old white backdrop. So, right. If you want to, kind of gear your product towards a certain look, I think this would be a great space for that. So yes, we definitely, but we also have some interesting groups come in too, like book club and,
we had a church group come in and do like this super fun photo shoot with the ladies. And
it was ladies' night for the church group. And we've been dying to have somebody do a game night. We think it'd be really fun to do
This is a great poker table.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
But it's very nice and we must be very careful.
Yeah. So it definitely
anything, your imagination.
let your imagination run wild within reason, of course. Yeah. But
Yeah, I would say overnight.
about no.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say about 20-ish people fit comfortably on one side of the building or the other, or in this space. I don't know. Maybe that's not the case with the rolling walls, but
I think when we did our chamber open house, we had 100 people or more like roaming the space at once, and there was people we never saw. It was really, really cool to have.
it was neat to have that many. I'm not sure that we wouldn't really have an event venue, and we wouldn't invite 100 people in on a regular basis. But it definitely lends itself to creativity.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
letting you sort of decide how you want to customize your event.
Yeah, super cool. So what advice would you give to someone booking a creative space for the first time, whether it's for a podcast, photo shoot, or an event?
Two things. I would say book a tour if you're unsure, because we love to show people around and to talk about our space. We're really proud of it. And we think it's a good economic decision too. There's lots of ways to spend your money, but we all work hard for our money. And so we feel like we provide value for what we have. And the other bit of advice would be don't wait to book. The dates kind of tend to book up fast. We've had lots of phone calls and text messages with professionals and creatives that have something in mind, and they reach out, and it's open at the time that they reach out, but they don't book it right away for some reason. And then somebody swoops in and picks up their date. And so if you're thinking about it, we're pretty flexible. We'll let you reschedule once, usually. If something comes up and you need to cancel, we're not gonna just keep your money and not let you come here. We're gonna make it right, get you in at another time. So it's better to book if you're thinking that you need something specific than to wait, unless you can be really flexible.
Yeah, makes sense. Cool. So looking ahead, what's next for Spare Room Studios? Any upcoming extensions, workshops, collaborations, anything? Naps. Oh, naps. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take a long ways nap. No. What's next for us? Well, we have. We're hoping is going to bring all new facets of creativity to the business and new collaborations that we love meeting new people, and we view people in our industry or fellow creatives as colleagues. We're real big on community over competition. I hate to even say that phrase because it's like, but we put our money where our mouth is, don't we, Cheryl?
Yeah, we next door to the style too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And in your shooting over the weekend was one of our competitors who we, consider good buddies. It helps to have a network of people that are reputable that you can lean on.
Yeah.
And so better to know your colleagues. And
I would like to insert here, since these two are the business owners and I am just very invested help. I've seen a couple times now where one of our regular team members is a former client, did her wedding, and it was beautiful. And she just really connected with Cheryl and Tiff that these ladies know how to connect with people. So it might take a bit for your turn to come when you're waiting on for your day. But they are spending so much time with the clients and giving everything that they have. And so that was one where, Bethany is here. And so you got
she
two
became a
Bethany.
bride turned staff member. For sure.
And then the other time,
mother of the bride.
mother of our bride who stepped in.
Yeah,
And then
a recent bride say, "Call me. I'd love
to work for you guys.
Yeah.
So Jessica was the mom of our bride, and going back to community, when life is hard and bad things happen, we really seen this community step up and surround us with a lot of love through some pretty bad things.
For sure.
And you don't find that out there in corporate.
Yeah.
This is small business. This is the heart of small business.
Small business, for sure.
And so we do want to give that to every client we have. Like, we are invested in that. And like she said,
And for the professionals and the creatives that come here and for the clients that we do outside events with, I think, we haven't quite figured out what our tagline is or our catchphrase, but I would argue that nobody cares about your event as much as you do, except for us.
Yeah.
We're really invested
Yeah.
in whatever project that you have going on. We know what our strengths are, and we also know what our weaknesses are, where we have room to grow.
And we're working on it.
We're working on it. Yep. We're not always the quickest to get back to people, but that is usually because we're really invested in the projects that we're in at the moment. And so if you And not every client is made for you. That is something that we had to learn as we went through. You couldn't possibly take care of everybody that if you wanted to. So that comes into play with the colleagues. Like, you need to be able to have quality people to refer them to, because you can definitely overbook yourself and get yourself into a bad spot. And so we definitely are learning as we go. When you know better, you do better. So that we definitely care. Even you coming here, George, we're excited to see you excited.
Yeah.
your part in the project and what's coming next. To share it with you. Like,
I'm super excited about this space, because this is like what I've been looking for, that just nobody had really the capacity to do it.
Yeah,
and then when we had our meeting, I was like, oh, this could be a podcast room.
For sure. And the rooms just kept opening up here. We actually used this space to prep for a giant
corporate event
that we were doing.
Cool.
We were building a museum for a company that was turning 100 years old. And so we utilized the space to set everything up in. And so we called it the Morrison Room for a while, because
It was Morrison Construction.
Oh, okay.
Local company here, turned 100 years old.
yeah. And so, and when it was time to give it up, I was like, no.
Yeah, funny story. Cheryl gets real, like, these are my toys. And she doesn't want to share. And so this is the gas and this is the brake. And my sister's like, no, we have no more money. And I'm like, but I might.
Yeah.
Enter the investor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is my project.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's really awesome about this space is, like, our landlord, we were here a year in May. We moved in May of 2024. So in May of 2025, we were here, and we started out with these concrete floors and bare walls and really very industrial, rough looking spaces. And within, 6-7 months time, the landlord was seeing our vision, kind of catching some of our socials and pictures and seeing us out at community events. And all of a sudden the light bulb went on for him too. And so
Yeah, another small business owner. He's
a small business owner that you see it. I want you to invest. I want to, be part of this and help hold you girls up. And we love that. And so I feel like,
Thank you, Brian.
yes.
I want to really thank Ryan and Jessica for being supportive.
Yeah. I feel like only good things are coming. People joke and say, oh, you guys have the whole building. We don't have the whole building. There are still other people here, which I would say is probably another factor that you have to be aware of, is timing is everything. This room is built to do what we do. But scheduling is important to make sure that we don't have conflicting events going on in different places of the building at the same time. Yes. So, right. Yeah.
And we are, like, future-wise, wanting to put together some packages where people could schedule some birthday parties or other events here.
Pre-design.
Yeah, pre-design. Like, I built a castle for an event that we did, like, out of wood so we'd like to start offering, like, princess parties for kids, or we have some superhero kind of things. And so where a parent can just be like, you know what? I want to have 15 of my kids' friends, and can we just order some pizza? Like, we provide the silverware and the plates and the things, and it's like a one-stop thing. We'll decorate it.
And I will usually be the attendant. Most times. So hi, I'll be your party attendant.
All right. What's in the future for us is,
When we were talking about growth, we always kind of look at our own personal experiences, like, where is the value found? And I think that's one of the things is, we're busy. People are busy. And to effectively gather, sometimes you don't want to do it in your house. Sometimes it's a lot of,
Sometimes you only live in a small house
yeah, sometimes you live in a small house.
and you have a big family.
Or maybe your kid's birthday is in the wintertime and it's a bad storm and you just want to bring the neighborhood kids and, so local.
something fun and different to do. And people are so into social media and the Instagrammable moments and the photos now that I feel like doing something like that here. And
Provide some fun, and something different for the kids to do.
Yeah. Super cool. I love this space. I think everything you guys are doing is, like, so cool and unique, honestly. It's really unique.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in booking this, go check out Spare Room Studios on all the social medias. You guys are mostly on Instagram, Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook. We're still thinking about TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah.
people joke around and say, like, we're so silly that somebody should follow us around the camera because we would, like, we're just dumb sometimes saying so things.
We don't have a website either. I think that's an interesting thing. We've tried a couple of times to set aside time and resources to do that. When you have an inventory that fills 5,000 square feet, it's really hard to keep up with. Things break, things change, trends change. And the manpower to run that. So we've sort of just taken to being like, it's a speakeasy. If you
Yeah.
your password, you can get in, right? If you know, you know, right? No website required. But we're at Spare Room Studios 219 on Instagram and Facebook.
And email.
And Gmail, Spare Room Studios 219 at gmail.com. Yeah.
Okay.
So easy to reach us, easy to remember.
And then what was the phone number again?
219-331-4437.
Awesome. Cool. Well, if you guys want to book it, go check out Instagram, Facebook, Spare Room Studios 219, or call, email, anything like that.
Yep.
My name is George Nix. You can also email me if you want to, find out more about this particular space and what I offer as far as just filming and stuff. We can do as many cameras as you want, really. But
Yeah, George, what they get.
yeah. So should we tell them the pricing and everything?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so-
We're transparent.
Yeah. So
I like to just be out there with it.
what's the pricing just to book this room?
So this space is $155.
$155.
$155 for a 90-minute block of time. You get 1 hour of production. So whether that would be photo, video, podcasting, you need a little bit of time to set up a cleanup. One of the rules, we're sure your mama taught you, is leave it how you found it. So we have lots of amenities here, but we also ask that you put them back where you got them from.
Yeah.
Or return order to how it is. So
Right.
we found that 90 minutes is about the best time. The photo studios you can book 1 hour, but this room will be 90 minutes. So, and then if they decide that they would like to expand their package and have a professional working with them, then you would take that.
Yeah. So if you want me to come film your podcast, it'll be the same thing, a 90-minute session. And that 90-minute session gives us a little buffer time for setting up, breaking down. So essentially, we're going to record for about an hour of your podcast with a little bit of leeway here and there. But we need, a little bit of time to get you guys out of here before the next session. So that's why it's 90 minutes.
I think it's important that people know when they hire you, they're walking out with their product.
Yeah. And that's something. So when you hire me to film this, you get 3 cameras and 2 microphones. I know this particular setup right now is 5 cameras and 4 microphones, but basically it's an extra $100 per camera mic combo. So what you're seeing today would be a $500 90-minute session, but your main shot like this, 2 people, 3 cameras, you get the wide, a close-up of each person, and then we can expand that up to, I'd say 8 total cameras. Any more than that, I think we'd run out of room in the room itself.
This table,
But, I mean,
seats
we can expand this a little bit, take the table out, put a couch right here, different things like that. But there's different charges for setup fees and stuff like that. So yeah.
If you're going outside of what the basic setup already is, if we have to make alterations, you provide staff to do that, then there's an additional fee, but it's nominal.
Yeah. And I feel like most podcasts is just 2 people, generally speaking. So that's why I like just doing this, main setup here with just 2 close-ups and a wide, and you guys can talk all day if you want, but you have to book extra hours for that. So but yeah, so $100 per each extra camera, comes with a mic as well. And pretty much I'll be your engineer, and I'm even going to give you ideas too while you're here. So if you're not sure what direction you want your podcast to go in, we can talk about that. I can give you ideas of what podcasts really are for. In this instance, this podcast is like an awareness podcast. So we're basically just doing an awareness campaign. Yeah. It's
Cheryl and I always say to each other,
How would they know?
Yeah. So this is an awareness campaign essentially. And that's what I love about podcasting in general is my format for my own podcast is I will get 10 questions that I think are going to be like frequently asked questions. That's what this is today. So we had 10 frequently asked questions that we can answer, and it gives you 10 different clips that you can post throughout the month. So that's why I like podcasts in general, is just because it gives you a lot of different clips that you can use. Because most people probably aren't going to watch the full podcast, let's be honest, but they
We're
will.
talking about
they
that
will watch the
yesterday.
clips.
And
so
I think going through this now, I could say, we're not especially comfortable on camera, but you definitely made it easier.
Good.
And it feels more conversational, like having a professional guide that. I definitely think there's a benefit to, I'm sure that there are people that are totally capable of just bringing their own stuff and filming. But for the small business entrepreneur that is looking to maybe grow their marketing, or having some content available that is in snippets, because everybody knows those snippets are what gets the attention.
And if you don't even want to have like a podcast, you can just come here as one person and record all your content, because a lot of people like to do that too, whether it's FAQs or it's some kind of announcement.
Almost,
like a little mini
Like
commercial.
It's a little mini commercial.
Yep, exactly.
Walk in, talk.
Yeah. And then another good option for a podcast too is to bring on your clients as like a testimonial. You can just talk about how you helped out your client, basically.
We actually just spoke to our bride about, being willing to give a testimonial. Anybody can write a review, and we love that. But when you can put some passion and excitement with some body language and tone of voice with it, it definitely does something different. And so it's one of the things we are thinking about doing is asking a couple of our clients, that former clients, to come in and do a little recording.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily a podcast, but it's a definite value to the business and a use of this space that we sort of didn't anticipate.
Yeah, for sure. And also you have great internet here, right? So we can potentially live stream from this location as well. So if you guys have...
I think it depends on where in the building. Let's remember it has a concrete roof.
Well, I'm looking at the connection here right now, and I think we'd be fine, honestly, live streaming from here.
That's good.
So if you had some kind of like presentation that you wanted to do, maybe a Zoom call with somebody, we can even bring them up on the TV right here. So that way
and we didn't mention that. We do have that in the office and boardroom. There is a large screen TV that is available for casting and Zoom. We do have the, professional high speed, secure internet. So the dedicated and a guest network. So people aren't, jamming it up if there's multiple things going.
And even if you just want to do like a presentation, you can cast whatever presentation, like your PowerPoint or something, onto the TV. You can point to it while you're talking to the camera. I do that kind of stuff all the time with people. So there's the possibilities here are just endless. Yeah. So any kind of content creation, we're ready for you guys. There's
Don't leave her hanging.
Oh, I didn't even see. I'm sorry.
We're going to be good buddies.
Yeah. So
You're going to know.
I'm too invested in the camera, the people out there watching. But yeah, this is an amazing place, and I can't wait to get filming here with you guys. So
Looking forward to it.
you guys come on out here, and we'll catch you in the spare rooms. Spare Room Studios. All right, guys. Well, this has been the Lakeshore Video Podcast, and this is Spare Room Studios. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Thanks.
Cool.